Hi Vicky, welcome to Zoom Digital. Before I begin, I want to ask, how's the Josh?
Josh is very high. Promoting a film which is very close to my heart, so yes, the Josh is very high.
Yeah, how the promotional tours been so far? Are you tired? What's your mind space like?
No, good. They're going good. Like I said, it's a film very close to our hearts. So talking about the film is a pleasure, and we've been waiting for this time. We finished the shooting of this film before COVID hit us,
Yeah.
and since the past 18 months, we've been working on the post production. So we've been very eager to bring this film out to the audiences.
I have to begin by asking to actually play a role, which was originally intended for later fans. How difficult was it?
It was firstly a matter of huge honor for me to get that part after Irfan Saab. And for me, actually, I never took that pressure upon me because I know that Irfan Saab is a different league of an actor. You know, there was no question about filling the shoes or matching his legacy because it's not possible. I feel I was just in my heart was just seeing it as like, you know, I just wanted his blessings to be there with me while I attempt to play this part. And I really hope that I've at least achieved like 1% of what he could have achieved as an actor with the same part. But it would be my humble tribute. This film would be my humble tribute to Irfan Saab.
Do you have any memories of Irfan sir? Did you ever get a chance to meet him, to interact with him?
I had actually just got the opportunity of interacting with him on on a personal level only once when I had gone for a screening of his film called Madari.
Yeah.
And I had interacted with him post the screening. And that was the only incident when I had interacted with him. And he was such an amazing soul, such an amazing person in those 5 minutes that I got to interact with him. But I've more so interacted with him at the movies only through so many characters that he's played.
Yeah. Apart from this, it's also a very difficult character to portray. What was your preparation like to get into, Sardar Udham Singh's role?
It was a very challenging part for me, especially because of how Sujit Das saw it and envisioned the story to come across to the audiences was to really get that state of mind right. So I had to really internalize each and every emotion, which becomes a little challenging sometimes because some emotions you're not comfortable touching upon, but when you have to internalize those emotions, you sometimes take a part of that with you and carry that with you, which becomes a very heavy process. So in that sense, it was challenging. There was a physical part of prep as well, where I am playing a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old and then a 40-year-old in the film. So there are these weight fluctuations where you're reducing 14 kilos and then gaining it all back to shoot another portion of the film. So all of that takes a bit of a task to do all of that. It's not a matter of like just a few kilos. It was like 14 kilos. So that was there. And apart from that, it was mainly, like I said, it was to get that emotional note right of a human being who's carrying this pain and agony for 21 years.
Yeah.
So that was challenging, but fortunately, I had a director like Sujita who was just guiding me through, like the master he is.
What was the best advice that Sujit Sarkar had for you for the character?
See, Sujita as a director, he's a very simple person. He's a very simple person. So when he approaches an actor to kind of play a part, he gives very simple briefs. He doesn't complicate it by creating a big mountain or a big cloud on your head that, these are the things that you have to keep a track on, take care of, these layers and that. He keeps it very simple. He keeps it like super simple. He would give just the basic brief, like, Vicky, just imagine him here. And I just want that state of mind. I want this kind of a moment. I want, imagine you being a kid and feeling this way. It would be very simple brief, but very spot on brief. Also, what he does very beautifully, and he's got a wonderful team to do that, is that when you land up on his set as that character in that costume and makeup and everything, the world is really so beautifully recreated for you that you genuinely feel like you're in the 1930s. You genuinely feel like you're in that part of London. You genuinely feel that, that authenticity of the world, and that starts giving things back to you. When you're put in a space where you genuinely believe that you're there, half the work as an actor also gets sorted. So he had a wonderful team of art director, costume designer, makeup artist, prosthetics. Everyone just did their part, played their part so well that half of my work was done because I already believed that I was in the 1930s playing that part.
Yeah. How difficult or easy was it for you to get out of that psyche, after shooting your scenes? Were there moments where it took you like a certain while to come out of it, or was it like
See,
a scene that
sometimes
you
you
just
don't
switch on,
realize.
switch off?
Sometimes you don't realize there are some portions that I would take back to my hotel room also, and then won't get sleep in the night because just thinking that it was an intense scene today, but at the end of the day, I was reenacting a life that has once lived. So to imagine that आज मैंने जो intensity feel की, somebody has actually lived that.
Yeah.
Somebody has actually gone through that pain, or that kind of a moment in his life, and that for me used to not make me sleep. Just like, how can anybody survive this pain? How can anybody survive an experience like Jallianwala Bagh massacre? For instance. So those kind of moments were definitely there where the character wouldn't leave me. It's not like I would be in character, but it's like the world doesn't leave you. In its essence, the flavor doesn't leave you.
Yeah. Sardar Udham Singh is basically, it's a revolutionary that not like, textbooks don't talk about him as much as probably,
Yes.
it should be covered. Did you have certain knowledge about him before you got on board for the film? Because a lot of children are told about him, but they're not like particularly taught about it in school. So did you have any idea about him before you got on board?
Yes, I had some familiarity because I belong to a Punjabi family. My
Yeah.
ancestral house is just 2 hours drive from the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. So while growing up, even if I would read one line in our history books regarding anything happening in Punjab, so I would, come back home and ask mom and dad about, okay, what was it? I read something like this in the book. So they would elaborate more on that. So I've kind of grown up to the stories of Shahid Bhagat Singh, Sardar Udham Singh, and what they had done more than what the history books provided us.
Yeah.
Of course, Sardar Udham Singh is a more unsung hero as compared to, probably a Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Shahid Bhagat Singh. So, and there are many such unsung heroes in our freedom struggle, especially, who've given their lives to make our country free.
Yeah.
And it becomes very important to keep those characters alive in our books, in our films, so that, the generations ahead can always remember them.
Do you sort of feel, I don't know, like, is there any added pressure because, you're Punjabi and you've actually learned about it. And, like you said, you have an ancestral home, like just 2 hours away from the spot. Is there any added pressure in that regard?
No, to be honest, more than pressure, the excitement takes over. Because for me, it was also a very exciting process that, this is the story I kept hearing while I was growing up. And now I've gotten the opportunity to play the same part. It's like, imagine you hearing a story about a prince and a princess from your grandmother, and 20 years later, you get to play that princess.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of a thrill which kind of supersedes that nervous feeling or that pressure. You never take it as a pressure, but you take it as like an exciting roller coaster ride that you're going to get onto.
All right. Vicky, I have to understand, you've been in the industry for, for so many years now. You won a national award. You've received a lot of critical acclaim. You have a massive fan following on social media, off it. But now when you look back at your journey, what were the kind of, struggles you faced when you started out?
बहुत सारे थे. My journey started in 2009.
Yeah.
As a kid who knew that he wanted to act but knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
So पहले एक acting institute में enroll करना, making sure that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, every day of my life.
Yeah.
Then I got to be an assistant director on Gangs of Wasipur under Anurag Kashyap, where that for me was my film school, where I got the basics ki acha yaar, actors aise kaam karte hain, and I got to interact with some wonderful actors through that film.
Yeah.
Then obviously I started doing theater for like a few years. For 3-4 years I was doing theater, where I was learning the basics of acting, where I was making all kinds of mistakes on stage. I was doing production, I was doing backstage, I was acting on stage, all sorts of things. And then parallelly I started giving auditions. And when you start giving auditions, आपको पता लगता है आप कितने पानी में हो. Because you're competing with like thousands and thousands of people who want the same job.
Yeah.
You step out every morning, you start knocking doors which 1,000 other people are knocking. You go and stand in queues with hundreds of other actors, aspiring actors, and who are very good actors. You're sitting in room with the people who some of them are doing far better job than you. And so that really, like, you all the time, every day before going to bed, you talk to yourself that how much you need to improve, how much there is to learn. So all of that was really, really, sometimes it kind of takes a toll on, like, it really accentuates your insecurities, your inferiorities, all of that. And then you have to keep surpassing that every day of your life till you get that job, you do good in that, and then your confidence starts building up. But I think in those struggling times when you're looking for a job, trying to prove to the world that you have something in yourself, that you can showcase it to the world, and you're wanting those opportunities, I think it's a very fragile time for any actor, who's looking for those opportunities, because every day you set out, you're in an optimistic state of mind. You leave your house in search of work. On most days, 8 out of 10 days, you come back disheartened because you couldn't crack anything. And what people don't realize that if I've cracked 10 auditions, I've actually failed in 1,000 auditions. I got rejected in 1,000, but I got selected in 10. But what is visible is only the 10 opportunities that I got. और सबको लगता है कि अरे यार ये तो आसानी से मिल गया, और उतना आसान होता नहीं है, but उसका मजा भी वही है. The thrill is also that you cherish your success, you cherish your, what you have in life far more when you've seen what you've gone through, and if you've seen more failures than that. So it's been a blessed journey. I feel very fortunate that I got the opportunity to, climb each step of the ladder. And also, all thanks to the people I got to work with also. They showed confidence in me. They gave me the platform, the opportunity. And I gave in my best as much as I could. And I kept growing as an actor as well.
You actually very nicely put it that when you start giving auditions, you learn कि आप कितने पानी में, and this is true for like every industry out there.
Yeah.
But what were, how did you sort of get back up, after rejections? Was there ever a time where you were sort of, I don't know, like where you were just, overwhelmed by the rejections, or was there like a really heartbreaking point for you that time?
I would get overwhelmed by rejections, but I had to get back up because I had no option. I had no plan B. There was no safety net. I knew that if I fall from here, it's straight on the ground. There's nothing in the middle. So when you sometimes having no plan B is also gives you a lot of strength. Sometimes having a plan B makes you a little complacent also कि चलो यार ये नहीं हुआ तो कुछ और हम कर लेंगे. But when you know कि आप कुछ और कर नहीं सकते, तो आप वो extra 2%, like 100% everybody gives, but it's only who give more than 100% are able to kind of make a different kind of a path for themselves. So I think that extra 2-3% that is required comes from the fact that you had no plan B, and that actually worked in my favor.
Yeah. I have a set of 2 crazy questions, so to say. This is about like what you have experienced. You can choose to answer, you can choose not to answer. Firstly, what's the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
Craziest rumor?
Yeah.
Actually ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं कि मैं बहुत crazy rumor ऐसा कुछ सुनाऊं, but I think there was something about me signing up a film which was completely bizarre, because I read that rumor and I was like, I wish this was true. In my early days, there was some announcement that I was like, yaar kash ye sach hota, par nahi hai.
Yeah. And what's the craziest fan experience you've had?
I actually don't like to call them crazy because they're very sweet. Yeah, there's some like it's all those are really, really sweet. Sometimes what happens is like कभी-कभार वो पता लगता है कि they've been waiting under my house, and वो थोड़ा सा मुझे लगता है कि I feel scared for them कि यार ऐसे मत करो, it's not safe, and कि कोई भी आपको बता देता है मैं यहाँ रहता हूँ और आप वहाँ पे आ जाते हो, तो it's very sweet, but sometimes you can get misled also.
Yeah.
So, that.
Yeah. Also, Sardar Udham is releasing on an OTT platform. What is your thing on that? Did you want it to be a big screen experience, or are you happy with, how it's coming out?
See, theaters are opening up, and it's a wonderful thing because it's all going to make us feel like things are getting back to normalcy. And we've been waiting for any opportunity that makes us feel that we are getting back to normalcy, So that is very, very good. Regarding Sardar Udham coming on OTT, see, firstly, it's a director's and more for a producer's prerogative as to how a film should reach the audiences. My job as an actor is to merely portray a part in that film. I'm sure that whatever decision Ronnie sir has taken about bringing it on Amazon Prime is going to be the best decision for the film, because it's also a film that we would like it to reach globally. It is not.
Yeah.
It is not a Bollywood film. It's more so an Indian film.
Yeah.
If you see that Sujita also has treated it as like a bilingual film. There is English in it. There is Punjabi in it. There is Hindi in it. We've kept the authenticity like that. So, and also with the relevance of the freedom struggle, Jallianwala Bagh, we want to tap onto the Indian community all across the globe. We also want the Britishers to be able to watch this film to realize, what kind of a past have they gone through, and what have they done in the past, which they're answerable for. So
Yeah.
all those factors counting in, I feel it's the best thing that it's coming out on Amazon, where people across 240 countries will be able to watch the film at the same time.
My last question. Sardar Udham Singh in the trailer, he says, tell people I was a revolutionary. As Vicky, if you had to, say something like that, tell people I was what will be your statement?
Oh,
your
wow.
one line description.
That's a beautiful question. I will have to live a little bit of my journey to realize that I am right now on the path of discovering myself as an actor, as an individual, to say that, okay, you know what, tell people I was dash. But right now, at the moment, I would say tell people is a beautiful one. Actually, I would say tell people that I was the actor who tried to play Sardar Udham.
All right. I'll ask you the same question 5 years from now. Let's see what changes.
Yeah, I would love to answer that. Beautiful.
Thank you so much for your time, Vicky. It was lovely talking to you. Good luck.